Hello, everybody. So I decided to change the background from the whiteboard to my lovely Christmas tree over here because I know we're all getting excited about Christmas. But today for Edpuzzle, I am going to teach you actually two strategies, and both strategies work together. So one is going to be effective note taking to help you answer your think questions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I have the slideshow made here, and we're going to start with the Edpuzzle interactive video in the slideshow. And then as we move forward, we will come back as a class live and we will start working together on answering some of the think questions together. Oh, don't mind my little visitor over here. I told you my cats are mischievous, so they like to come check out what's going on. So that was Spade. All right, so reading and think questions. So these are our standards we're working with today. I know it looks like a lot, but I'm going to show you an awesome way to make sure you're answering your think questions correctly. You're using your evidence, you're using context clues, you're determining meanings of words, we're evaluating the argument and finding where the evidence and reasoning is for the arguments, and then we're able to properly answer the question with, our thoughts, and then we can back it up with the claims and evidence to make it not persuasive, but instead an argument. So our objective is, again, today we will work together on properly answering think questions, and we're going to use evidence, proper grammar, because this is important. I know a lot of you guys like to use that text language, but not when we're doing educational activities. You want to make sure that you are using proper grammar and punctuation. So again, make sure you go into your Edpuzzle. This will be in your Google Classroom underneath week 1130. And it is going to be the Edpuzzle that is think questions and effective note taking. So if your Edpuzzle is not working, try to open it with Safari instead of using Google. I did find that as a troubleshoot for a student yesterday. So I'm hoping that those of you that have struggled a little bit with getting into Edpuzzle, that this will help you out. So Miss Palmer's effective notes. What does that even mean? Well, just so you know, I have taken effective notes in this lovely notebook that you guys probably can't see all the writing on right now. You will see a copy of my notes and how I took them at the end of this video. So you will have an example of what you can do to help yourself answer think questions properly. So one thing you need to do, first things first, is determine what is the question even asking. Write it down. If it has a part A, a part B, and a part C, you need to put that down. Sometimes our think questions don't say part A, part B, part C, but we can see that the question is asking us more than one question, and we need to make sure that we're answering everything these think questions are asking. I'm asking you guys to think a little bit deeper. So let me give you an example here in our study sync. And the cool thing is I have niftily, I don't even know if that's a word, but I have niftively, I don't know, I have managed, we'll just go with that, to use split screen mode. So I'm hoping your guys' iPads have that because this is a lifesaver. Also numbering here, your paragraphs is a lifesaver. So first thing, before we even look at this answer that I put here, which some of you might be looking at it and being like, oh my goodness, she wants an answer that long. Yes, I want you guys to answer these questions, but my note-taking strategy that I'm going to show you is going to help you put together your sentences like this to where you don't feel like you're really writing a whole lot. You are just answering each question and then you're able to put it all together to make sense. So first things first, our question says, use context to determine the meaning of the word components as it is used in A Short Walk Around the Pyramids and Through the World of Art. Write your definition of components here and how you got it. Then use a dictionary, or for us, it's Google because nobody really uses dictionaries anymore, let's be real, to check the meaning of the word and revise it if you need to revise it. If not, don't worry about that. So when I look here at my slides, I have broken it down to what is this question asking? And so when I go and I read that question, there was three things I noticed that it was asking me. One, it wants me to find the meaning of components. Now, it wants it in my own words. So I'm not finding it in the dictionary just yet. This is part A is my own words. Part B is how do I know this? So how was I able to put this word in my own words? And then part C is looking it up in the dictionary, aka Google, and getting the actual definition of the word component. So there is three parts, and in my note taking, this is exactly how I wrote it down: part A, part B, and part C. So I knew not to forget to answer each part of the question. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go back to this, and I want to first find where the word components is in this reading. So components is in paragraph 3, and we see it here, the bolded word. You should already have it annotated purple for vocabulary. If you don't, then you need to do that now. But when I look at the word components, this sentence says, first, when all of the things that go into a work, its components, complement one another, they create an object that has a certain spirit, and we can call that spirit harmony. So when I look at it, I feel like it gives me the definition right from the beginning, because if you notice, it says first, when all the things that go into a work, and then it has a dash and says its components, dash. So it's like it's separating it from the sentence, like it's trying to insert it. Like, hey, I'm telling you this sentence, and here these little dashes mean I'm inserting the word that I'm trying to say. So our author inserted components right into the definition of how he was using it. So what I did is for the first part of the question of what is the meaning of components, for part A, I put in my notes, I jotted down what I thought, just kind of quick jotting down notes. So my notes say components, all things that go into a piece of work. So this is all things a builder or an artist needs to have to do their work. Now, I went in and put my answer of part A in more of an educational version, an academic language. So the word component in a short walk around the pyramids and through the world of art means the different parts the builder or an artist uses in their piece of work. So part A, that's how it should look. I've answered the question thoroughly. I've answered, what I'm looking at, the word components. Where did I find that word? In a short walk around the pyramids through the world of art, because that's the story we're reading. And I put means the different parts the builder or an artist uses in their piece of work. So I put it in my own words from what I got, which is part B, where it says, how do I know? I put, I know this because the text says all things that go into a piece of work right before it says its components. The first part of the phrase was a context clue. That's how I knew this. So again, if we look back at the text, we can see here that it gives us the context clue right here in the beginning of this sentence. And then, like I said, it inserts the word components because our author is trying to say, hey, this is what it's properly called, but I gave you the definition of what it is, so you guys really don't have to go look it up because it's right here for you. So then part C, I would need to go to Google. So I'm going to Google and I am typing in definition of the word components. And the dictionary definition, first off, I skip the noun, which we know is a person, place, or thing. Well, if it's parts and it's pieces of something, then we know it's a thing, so it has to be a noun. And it says a part or elements of a larger whole, especially a part of a machine or vehicle. So even though it's not talking about a vehicle in our particular story, parts or elements of a larger whole tells me that means pieces that are smaller that go into something larger. So in my notes here, let me put it back up big for you to see. Part C, I put the dictionary says components is a noun and means a part of element or part or elements of a larger whole, especially a part of a machine or vehicle. Now, here's what I want to show you, because like I gave you the example from when I said the dictionary definition, even though we're not talking about a car or a machine, I made sure to add that in my answer because I want to clarify that I understand that even though we're not talking about a machine or a parts, components is being used in the proper way here. So everything that I wrote in my notes is here, except for right here where I added, even though the dictionary mentions machines and vehicles, I know in ancient Egypt, they did not have these, and the author is indicating each piece of the pyramid is a component. So we know the larger pyramid had smaller pieces in order to build it. So yes, I expect your answers to look like this. I hope that the lesson with taking your notes, and like I said, this will be at the end of this video so you can see how I did my notes and look at them as an example or an exemplar for you. And I hope this helps. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to go back to our live session because we are going to do one together as a class. So make sure you have your study sync up, split screen, and that you have number 5 think question pulled up so we can do this as a class together. Thank you guys for being awesome, and I'll see you back live.